Your retirement is going to last decades, not years. And with dollars not stretching as far as they used to, there's a lot of rumors out there about how much you'll need in order to retire. Can you retire with less than $1 million saved up? I'll tell you coming up. The statistics say there are over 11 million millionaires in the U.S., and that's on the rise. Additionally, I found this interesting. It takes the average millionaire 28 years to reach that level. So the typical millionaire gets there by consistently saving over a long period of time. I love that. My question today is, do you need to become a millionaire in order to retire? If I'm being honest, as a certified financial planner who's helped thousands of people with their financial goals and figuring out how to retire, I've never really viewed it as a certain threshold of savings that you need to accumulate. I realized very early in my career that the answer depends on your unique situation, what we call the 5 factors of your retirement. Let me tell you about Dave. Dave came in to see me back in the late 2000s, was referred to me by a friend of his. He was 63, single, and had about $150,000 saved up. He was hoping to retire around 66 or 67. So if I stop there, what would you think? Is he on track to retire? The truth is, today, he's been retired for over 5 years and without a financial care in the world. How? Because being able to retire isn't just about how much money you have saved up. It's about 5 interrelated, interdependent variables or choices, really, that you make in your financial life. Yes, how much you have saved up in your nest egg is one of those variables, but it's just one of 5, and I would argue it's not even the most important one. Before I tell you more, let me tell you about Sue. Sue was also referred to me from a friend of hers just about the same time I started working with Dave. Sue was single as well, 62, and was planning on retiring in a year or so. She had about $1.3 million saved up. Now, I know what you're thinking. I should set the two of them up, but I didn't do that. Just kidding. So she had about $1.3 million saved up. So was Sue on track to retire? Would you be surprised if I told you no, that she was not ready to retire when she wanted to? The moral of the story is that you can retire on virtually any amount of money that you have saved up, depending on how the 5 variables, the 5 factors of your retirement, how they all fit together for your situation. The amount that you have saved up is one of those, but I've seen people retire with next to nothing in the bank, and I've seen people retire and fail with a couple million saved up. If you haven't heard me talk about this before, let me explain what these 5 factors are. They're 5 questions that I review with clients, and they're really choices that each person gets to make or has already made that work together interdependently to determine their ability to retire. And by interdependently, I mean that if you make a choice in one area, it will influence your choices in the other. So it's not rocket science, but here are the 5 factors. 1, how long will your retirement last? Meaning, what age will you retire? What's your life expectancy? 2, how much will you spend per year in retirement? 3, what income sources will you have during retirement? 4, how much do you have saved up, and how much will you continue to save up between now and retirement? And 5, how much investment risk are you comfortable taking? I think emotionally, we get so fixated on that 4th variable, how much you have in savings. And it feels like that's it. That's the crux of your retirement readiness. And it's not, at least not by itself. See, Dave, who retired successfully with only $150,000, he didn't like investment risk at all, meaning he couldn't plan on that $150,000 to grow much for him during retirement. That's the bad news. But what was his savings grace? He didn't spend much money at all, and he was very content with that. In fact, he told me he only spent money on beer and night crawlers, and he said neither of them were very expensive. And because he worked until 67, he had a good amount of Social Security income and had very affordable health insurance via Medicare. By contrast, Sue still had a mortgage, still had a car loan, still had a timeshare and bought another timeshare early on, and she had a daughter and a granddaughter at home that she was supporting. And because Sue wanted to retire before her full retirement age and before Medicare kicked in, both of those were going to be a big drag on the amount of money that she had saved up. The point is this: I'm not telling you that you need to be Dave in order to retire, and I'm not telling you that you can't retire early like Sue wanted to. The amount of money you have saved up is crucial to your retirement readiness, but it's not the only variable. You need to make those other 5 choices for yourself and see how they all fit together to determine if you're on track to retire or whether you need to make some trade-off. So do that work. Contact your certified financial planner. They've got to be doing comprehensive financial planning, not just trying to sell you something. Contact them and go through your specific, unique answers to those 5 factors. I hope that helps you on your journey towards financial freedom. If you have any comments or questions, leave those below. Tell me about your journey below. Hit that thumbs up button and do me a favor. If you're not already a subscriber, please do so that you're up to date on all Wise Money content that we publish to the Wise Money channel. All right, until next time, my name's Mike Bernard. Now go out and take your next wise step in your financial life.